Now we're going to begin section 7.5, adding and subtracting polynomials. Adding polynomials involves adding like terms. You can group like terms by using a horizontal or vertical format. I will show you both formats, but I prefer the vertical method. You may use either one you choose. In example 1, we're going to add 5x squared minus 3x plus 4 plus 6x minus 3x squared minus 3. In the horizontal method, we are going to group our like terms, so we'll have 5x squared plus negative 3x squared plus negative 3x plus 6x plus 4 plus negative 3. When we simplify or combine like terms, we get 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. The one thing you have to be very careful about here is that when you group like terms, you make sure that if the term is negative, meaning it sometimes has a subtraction out in front of it, that you write it as a negative. In the vertical method, we write 5x squared minus 3x plus 4, and we add negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 3. In this case, we align like terms in columns, and then we combine them. So we just add down. 5x squared plus negative 3x squared is 2x squared. Negative 3x plus 6x is positive 3x, and 4 plus negative 3 is 1. Once again, when you align like terms, you have to be careful to be sure that you write the negatives where they belong. In guided practice 1, we're going to add polynomials. We'll add y to the fourth minus 3y plus 7 plus 2y to the third plus 2y minus 2y to the fourth minus 11. I'm going to use the vertical method. You may use the horizontal method if you wish. Look in the book for extra examples if you need extra help with the horizontal method. Now there are a lot of things in this one that we have to consider. First of all, there are more terms in the second polynomial than in the first. And sometimes I'll use zeros for placeholders there, and sometimes I'll just leave it blank. So I see that I've got y to the fourth here, and I'm going to add, and I've got negative 2y to the fourth in the second polynomial. In the second polynomial, I also have 2y to the third plus 2y minus 11. So now I need to align them. So y to the fourth minus 3y is going to go here, and plus 7. And then we'll add. So y to the fourth plus negative 2y to the fourth is negative y to the fourth. This is in effect a 0, okay? So if you want to put it there, you can, just so you know. 0 plus 2y to the third is 2y to the third. Negative 3y plus 2y is negative y. And 7 plus negative 11 is negative 4. So your answer would be negative y to the fourth plus 2y to the third minus y minus 4. In self-check 1, you practice adding polynomials by adding 4a minus 5b squared plus 3 plus 6 minus 2a plus 3b squared. Next, we're going to subtract polynomials. Recall that you can subtract a real number by adding its opposite or additive inverse. We learned this when we discussed integers and different things early on in your pre-algebra and as a review in Algebra 1. Similarly, you can subtract a polynomial by adding its inverse. So when you find the additive inverse of a polynomial, basically what you're doing is multiplying every term by negative 1. So what we would do if we had negative times 3x squared plus 2x minus 6, we would multiply it by negative 1. You can put the negative 1 there or just the negative sign. It doesn't make any difference. And then you're going to distribute that all the way across. So negative 1 times 3x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. So this would be the additive inverse of the polynomial 3x squared plus 2x minus 6. In example 2, once again, I'm going to use the vertical method. You can also use the horizontal method here. If you want to use that, you can review that method in the book. So we're going to align our terms, and then we're going to add the additive inverse. So the first polynomial is 4x to the third minus 3x squared plus 6x minus 4. I'm going to add the additive inverse. So the additive inverse of negative 2x to the third is 2x to the third. The additive inverse of x squared is negative x squared, and the additive inverse of negative 2 is positive 2. So then I'll add those together. So 4x to the third plus 2x to the third is 6x to the third. Negative 3x squared plus negative x squared is negative 4x squared. Positive 6x plus 0, there's nothing there, so positive 6x plus 0 is positive 6x. And negative 4 plus positive 2 is negative 2. So this would be our answer. Once you've completed self-check 2, try this. Write a polynomial that represents the perimeter of the figure below. A couple of things you might want to consider is number 1, what is the figure? And number 2, how do you find the perimeter of the figure? And then go ahead and do the work that you need to do to write the polynomial.